Yep, we're on. Good evening, and we welcome you to game number 8 of the 38th annual Prairie Farms Holiday Classic Basketball Classic here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium in Collinsville, Illinois, at Collinsville High School, the home of the K-Hawks. My name is Matthew Clark. I'm joined alongside by Zach Roseman for the final first-round game and the final game of day number 1 between the Quincy Blue Devils and the Alton Redbirds. It's been a great first day. A lot of exciting stuff has happened. 14 teams have played. 2 days to go, or 2 teams to go, and one final game between Quincy, who finished 4th here at the tournament last year, and Alton, who finished a resounding 15th. So, let's go ahead and begin. If you've missed the first 7 games, which I hope you haven't, but if you have, here's a little bit of a recap of what's gone on here early on in this tournament. O'Fallon and Mundelein got us started 11 hours ago with a 62-51 victory to the Panthers. MacArthur followed that up with a 67-39 win over the Madison Trojans in game number 2. Beverly East Lancers picked up a victory over the McClure North Stars, 49-40 in game 3, and Lincoln completed the top half of the bracket with a 52-43 win over the Granite City Warriors. Rockford East and Alton-12, 67-64 to the E-Rabs, and then Collinsville in their home opener, or their tournament opener, took care of Oakville 71-41, and then Triad just beat Collierville, Tennessee, just beat Triad by a final score of 56-47. That means 3 quarterfinals are set up. They'll start at 10 a.m. tomorrow. O'Fallon will play MacArthur, Belleville East will play Lincoln at 11:30, and Rockford East will play Collinsville. The Collierville Dragons out of Collierville, Tennessee, a suburb of Memphis, will have the winner of this one, Quincy and Alton. So this is where I bring in my wonderful partner here, Zach Roseman. So we've done a couple of games, you and I both, and the voice of the K-Hawk Sports Network, Todd Duke, did 6 of the 7. He did a fantastic job. That's it for him tonight. He'll be here later. But I wanted to ask you, Zach, what is, in terms of everything you've seen today, what's been your favorite moment of the Holiday Classic?
I don't know that I have a, moment. I guess probably the best moment so far is, Jordan Lewis, not single-handedly, but
almost single-handedly. Yeah, we'll go ahead and say that.
Yeah, almost single-handedly carrying Altoff to a come-from-behind win over Rockford East. Missing Taylor Powell and having he had 32 points. He had a really good night.
Yeah, and that was a 21-point lead for the E-Rabs at one point. Altoff cut it all the way to 2. Just couldn't find the finish, had a late turnover that unfortunately plagued their victory. And so the other thing I also wanted to ask you is, this is the first year in the 38-year history of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic where a shot clock has been added on. That comes after the record was broken 2 times last tournament for the lowest combined point total. Haven't had any issues with points today, but how much of an impact do you think the shot clock has had on the tournament this far?
It has, and it also hasn't. I think we've had 5 or 6 all told over the course of the 7 games. It's definitely affected some things. There's some, you can't back it out and burn clock in the late game, and it's all in all, I think I'm kind of apathetic towards it. I think there's something to be said for not having it, but I think it's more a question of inevitability when it comes to when it's a matter of when it gets permanently implemented, not if.
Right.
And and all in all, it hasn't really been too bad. It's been run fairly well. We have the staff here at,
and they've done a fantastic
job. They've done a good job running it. We haven't really had any issues with it. And to focus on now the game at hand, we've got Quincy and Alton.
Yeah, before we start with that, I did want to pass along the Collierville Triad stats for you. Collierville won that game 56-47. We went off the air from that game and game on to this one, so we'll pass you the stats along. Collierville had 3 players in double figures. TJ McNeil, number 0, had quite the stat line. 12 points. He was 0-4 from 3, but had 7 assists. Did have 4 turnovers. Also had 4 steals. Elijah Losier, who had, I was a little bit surprised he had a strong game. He had 11 points on 5 of 8 shooting, and then Alex Vandenberg really heated up in that second half, 6 of 9 with 15 points. Triad, Drew Winslow had 24 points, 8 made free throws and 8 made field goals. Collierville scored 14 points in every single quarter, and they beat Triad in the second chance points 11-4 and also had 8 points off the bench. You were the color commentator for that game. What did you see in that one before we jump to game number 8?
Collierville looked pretty good. They're They run as deep as Decatur MacArthur, and they've got some talent. They've got a lot of length. They're going to be they're
going to be a tough out.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough out for whoever wins this game. You figure Quincy would be favored, only one loss to a state-ranked Moline team, and Alton have played a pretty tough schedule, but they've definitely had their struggles this year.
And let's jump to Alton right now. They're 1-8, 8 consecutive losses, and they've lost them by an average of 23.5 points. The teams that have lost to are combined 42 and 21. They've allowed 65.5 points a game on average. They've played O'Fallon 3 times, Belleville East twice, so that accounts for 5 of their 8 losses. But it just hasn't been the season yet for Alton, and hopefully they'll be able to kind of bring their season back up and have a better one as it relates to this tournament. They need a couple of baskets. And I just want to let you know, the Alton head coach, the regular Alton head coach, is not here. Dylan Dudley was going to do a whole thing on him. He's the 5th coach in 5 years for Alton, but it is someone else. I'm not exactly sure. I couldn't quite hear the name of the gentleman who is leading the Alton Redbirds today, but he's got quite the task against Quincy, who is 9-1, 3-1 in conference. Their only loss is to one of the top teams in Class 4A. That is Moline. They won their own Thanksgiving tournament. They beat the Misha Class 6 state champions over in Missouri. That's Webster Groves. And they've had 11 days of rest, but Coach Andy Douglas said that he's going to use those days to prepare for a shot clock and to increase their conditioning. So we'll have to see if that goes through for the Quincy Blue Devils. Andy Douglas is the head coach. 7 of his 8 seasons have been winning seasons as the head coach. He's in his 9th year. And, of course, the Douglas family is a huge legendary family in Quincy basketball. Went to Quincy University. He's in the Quincy Hall of Fame with the 97-98 Quincy basketball team, and he made all-tournament back in 1998. He's only the second coach, one of 2 coaches at this tournament that made all-tournament. The other one was not Therese Bryson, but Philip Gilbert, who coaches for Madison, played for East St. Louis. So a bunch of information there, but let's get you the starting lineups today. It looks like Alton's going to trot out Hassan Elliott at number 1, 15. Give me the name on number 15 if you wouldn't mind.
15 is, I'm pretty sure that is Tyrese Jones. We have him as number 5, but it looks like he'll be wearing 15
Tyrese
tonight.
Jones. Yep, Kobe Taylor also in. And it's Blake Hall in the center for the jump, and Alex Macias. Quincy Blue Devils will start Bradley Longcourt, Camden Brown, Keyshawn Thomas, Ralph Wires, and a surprise hero, Tyler Sprick, who normally plays on the bench and shoots threes. He's the one that will start for Quincy. I believe he will start in front of Reed O'Brien, the triad transfer. So Quincy in their home jerseys, trimmed in blue, the blue word Devils and numbers on the front and back. Alton in their away reds with gray numbers as we tip off here at the nightcap of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, and Quincy wins the tip. That is Bradley Longcourt. Watch out for him this tournament. He made all-tournament last year as a freshman, so he will be very hard to guard. Ralph Wires will pull an opening 3, and that's good. Well, Ralph Wires quite loves them. Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium hit that big, famous buzzer-beating layup against Collinsville the last time Quincy were here in the regional championship, or the sectional semifinal that Quincy won. They went on to win that sectional championship, and he's on the board, and that's going to be a 10-second violation for Alton, and things are already turning a little bit bad for Alton right now.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit of a sluggish start there. Kind of left wire is pretty much wide open out on the wing, and then just a little too lazy getting the ball up the court, and the Blue Devils will have the ball and are going to get into their offense.
Sprick to Thomas. He's a big boy inside, and he goes into the lane. Strong basket by Keyshawn Thomas. Blake Hall really couldn't do anything about that one for Alton.
Yeah, Hall, he grew a few inches from last year, but all things considered, this Alton team is not one with a lot of size, but I think they're going to get maybe Thomas, or no, they're going to get Wires.
Ralph Wires for the foul. Tyreus Jones will go to the line. His second year on varsity. Played just 1 minute in the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. That was in Alton's it was in the win over Wasilla. That was Alton's only win of the tournament, and it was one of Alton's 4 wins last season, and a 4-23 season. And they beat Wasilla by 30, so it was a bit nice, but unfortunately only 4 wins for them on the season, as Tyreus will hit them both 5-2 Quincy here.
Yep, just able to knock them both down, and we'll see Alton put on a little bit of zone pressure.
Yeah, Brown on the left wing. They'll have to play zone a little bit and hope Quincy doesn't shoot the ball very well. Bradley Longcore will survey and wait just a moment before getting the offense set up. Let's see if the shot clock ends up affecting either of these teams here. We know it affected Lincoln and Granite City a little bit when we called that game.
Yeah, maybe had a little bit of effect on Triad as well.
Sprick with the drive outside to Wires, and that's a deflection and steal. Jones has it for the Alton Redbirds. First turnover of the night for the Blue Devils. Macias now on the left side.
Yeah, Macias. That's a lot of Maciases that have had quite a bit of athletic success up in Alton at both Alton High and Marquette.
Yeah, he was very successful. One of his brothers was really successful in Alton track. Blake Hall will pull for three on the left corner, and he can hit those. A tray for Blake Hall. Tie game here. They're going to have to stop him from three. Brown into the middle, outside. Wires thought about the three, decided not to shoot it. And Longcore will call for a screen from Keyshawn Thomas. Thomas drives right, misses the back, hits the backboard with the miss there, and Alton have a chance to somehow take the lead here.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit of a flat start from the Blue Devils. Kind of a long bus ride, coming down every bit of probably pushing 3 hours on a bus, and Alton get a much shorter drive, able to rest a little bit more before coming down here to Virgil Fletcher Gym, but turnover there.
Macias tried to get it past, couldn't get it, and Sprick will go through, and Longcore tried to drive left. That's going to be a blocking foul on number 15, Tyreus Jones. Of course, Bradley Longcore is going to be really hard to guard. He won the Thanksgiving Tournament MVP. He's one of the two players here with Division I offers. The other one, Jordan Pickett, who helped Belleville East to a win earlier today. He has offers from SEMO and UC San Diego as a sophomore, so that'll be pretty impressive to see his future. And he very well may win MVP one of these years at the Holiday Classic.
Yeah, you'd think so, and really the straw that stirs the drink, and just kind of taking over as the main guy for the Blue Devils. After
Keyshawn Thomas put Blake Hall to the floor there and got the big rebound. That's 4 points for him. And if they can't keep him contained inside, it's going to be a rough day for him. Elliott. Left side, Quincy finally getting their trap. He dribbled through it. Elliott will go to the lane. Nice pass to Jones in the middle. And Alton get the points back. It's tied again here with the first 3 minutes played in this first quarter.
Yeah, just hanging around now are the Redbirds, Bucket there by Taylor and tied at 7.
Here's Camden Brown. He'll look inside to Keyshawn Thomas again. Thomas outside, Sprick and Longcore right in the same spot. He got it to Brown. And Quincy will reset their offense. Alton playing in that 2-3 zone. Longcore will wait, and they've been very selective with their shots here thus far, Quincy. Longcore outside. Longcore will have a deep three. That was from Wires, and he got it. Well, Bradley Longcore can drive, and he can hit. His real name is Bradley Longcore III, so I guess it makes sense that he hit a 3 for being Bradley Longcore III. Here's Macias driving left into the middle of the paint. Tried to flip one up. No good. Rebound Thomas, and here comes Quincy on the pass break. Longcore straight down the middle of the court. He'll look back. Nice pass inside to Keyshawn Thomas, and that's a bucket for Keyshawn Thomas, and he has dominated the paint so far for Quincy.
And the very nice note packet you put together for us. You said kind of a Kedrian Jones-esque player, and I definitely agree on the prediction there, and we'll see that is Dominique Clay come in for the Blue Devils at the next stoppage.
Dominique Clay is a sophomore. He'll come in at the next break. Outside, Taylor. Jones looked to drive right, then drove left. Elliott now with 10 on the shot clock here for Alton. First time they've really dealt with the shot clock issue, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Tyler Sprick takes the charge for Quincy, and they're starting to, like I said with Lincoln earlier, they're starting to find their footing, starting to grow into the game here. And, it was a good start from Alton, but now they got to make sure that they don't let this lead extend very far in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when Quincy get going, they can really get going, and they can got it from tied to up 5, and, if things keep going at the rate they're going, we could blink and the Blue Devils will be up 15.
Longcore directs the offense, gives it to Brown, the silky 6'5 junior from Quincy. Sprick inside, Brown, high post jump shot, no good, but Thomas fights for the rebound and will keep it in here, but flips it to an Alton Redbird. Jones, long one-handed pass down the court. It'll be Taylor going with the Euro step up with his left hand. That's no good. Sprick will get the rebound. Quincy's got some numbers here. Brown looking to go drive into the layup, and it will be a no-shot foul, be on the floor as Hassani Elliott reached in before Camden Brown could get the shot off. We're talking about a Quincy team here that went farther than any other team in the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic last year as it related to the postseason. Went to the 4A Super Sectionals, led for 3 quarters in their game, and then lost the fourth quarter and did not go to state as they lost to Bolingbrook. Keyshawn Thomas inside with the right hand. That one didn't fall, but he didn't need it to because he got his own rebound. Thomas padding his stats, and Alton's head coach needs a timeout. Quincy are on a 7-0 run. They've doubled the Redbird score. We'll be back after this message on the KHOC Sports Network.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KHOCSports.com and the KHOC Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the KHOC Sports Network and KHOCSports.com.
(14-7) Blue Devils here, and Keyshawn Thomas for the Quincy Blue Devils already has 8 points. Obviously, the strong big man fought his way into the starting lineup as a freshman, now a huge piece of this Quincy team. Hasn't had a bunch of huge games for the Blue Devils this far, but could this be his tournament to have a huge tournament? I guess his tournament to have a huge tournament, yeah.
We'll see, and they're going to put the trap on there, but Alton able to break it. And we're going to get a foul on Sprick.
Yeah, I believe Tyler Sprick picked up that foul, and Alton will go to the line for the second time today. But back to Keyshawn Thomas. You didn't exactly answer that question. What do you think? You think he makes all-tournament team? You think he has a huge piece of this Quincy, or do you think it's going to be Longcore, Camden Brown, and some of the other pieces on Quincy's team?
I mean, it's really hard to tell at this point. I mean, I think he could. I mean, the potential is certainly there for him to have a good game. And I mean, you know, against an Alton team that don't have a lot of size, the potential is there for Thomas to have a very good game. Taylor able to make both free throws.
Yep, Alton keeping themselves in the game. They've gone 4 for 4 from the line thus far. Longcore guarded closely by number 13. That's Cameron Burnett. Alton made a couple of substitutions in the full timeout that they took. Sprick, Longcore will dish to Sprick. That's a left corner 3 for Sprick. No good, but Keyshawn Thomas was about to get the rebound, but it hit the top of the backboard, so it will be Alton basketball.
And I see also number 11 into the game for the Redbirds. That is Junior Brown. Kind of a spot player, another sophomore. It seems like if you play Alton varsity basketball, you're either a senior or a sophomore.
Yeah, still a pretty young team for Alton. They'll have some good players in the future. Here is Taylor driving to the win. That'll be on the floor, and I believe that should be Tyler Sprick's second foul, so he might have to find some time on the bench, and it looks like Reed O'Brien is going to check in for him. So Reed O'Brien checks in. The varsity transfer from Triad High School. Obviously, if Quincy wins this game, there's probably a possibility where Reed won't be playing against his former school. Yeah. As Quincy gets the steal, down court, Camden Brown trying to put it up for the dunk, but he'll take the 2 points anyways.
Yeah, wound up catching it a little too far under the bucket to do that, but 2 points is 2 points no matter how you get it.
Another note here, Amanda Bauer, our amazing athletic trainer here at CHS, is getting her first work of the day. Blake Hall, the star three-point shooter for Alton, is on the bench with an ankle problem. That is not going to be good for Alton's offense in this one, as a drive there floater is nowhere near the rim by Junior Brown, and here comes Quincy. Longcourt just dribbles past one defender, up to top 2. Brown, a really tough alley-oop play. That would have been the highlight of the day, and Macias brings it back for Alton.
Yeah, just threw it a little bit behind Brown, but he was up high enough to go get it. We'll see if they try that again later.
Here's another steal for Quincy. Keyshawn Thomas going down the floor. Longcourt drives baseline, and another foul. These Quincy players have driven the ball into the lane and forced some Alton fouls here. That's the 4th on the Redbirds. Quincy Blue Devils have 3.
And they're going to get that on Macias, as we'll see Sam Mulheron come in for the Blue Devils. Was a spot starter for them last year, and we'll see Wires re-enter as well, as Brown and Thomas will have a little bit of a break.
Sam Mulheron, a player who has burns with experience here for Quincy, has played in these big games and plays his role really nicely. Longcore Power dribbles inside, outside to Dominique Clay in the left corner for three. That's no good. Rebound to O'Brien. It looks like it tips off of an Alton player. It'll stay with the Blue Devils. That was actually a right corner three there by Dominique Clay. It's a good three-point shooter. He can drive the ball as well, though.
Yeah,
another good piece on this Quincy bench.
Yeah, a lot of versatile guys for this Blue Devil squad. Not a, seems like a lot of the guys, especially in their starting lineup, can do multiple things at a pretty high level.
Longcore drives left with just about 45 seconds to go here in this first quarter in the final matchup of the day one. Quincy just hasn't been able to get a lot of stuff going offensively. Reed O'Brien back block rebound. And Longcore will pull up from the elbow. That's about as easy as it gets. They lost him there, and Longcore's going to make that every time.
Yeah, O'Brien doing what O'Brien does best, getting a lot of those hustle stats, offensive, very kind of a Zane Baker type player for me.
Quincy's starting to get a lot of steals here, and Dominique Clay was hoping to go dunk that there, but Wires got fouled in the beginning there. So 19 seconds here for Quincy to get their final shot. The shot clock has been turned off.
Yeah, they're going to get Macias for a second, and we'll see.
I think the other thing that's interesting about Quincy, we always talked about, Jeremiah Talton, their big player. Lost him. He was an all-stater last season. But it looks like they haven't had much of an issue without him. And he was a great three-point shooter for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, see, number 22 in for the Redbirds. I do not have one on our roster and wasn't able to catch his name.
Well, if we find him, we'll try to get a good name for him. Longcore will have another try at three, and that's good. Bradley Longcore, and that's 8 points for him in the first quarter. And Quincy has revved it up. Another 7-0 run for the Blue Devils. They had two of those in this first quarter. They are up 21-9. We'll have second quarter action for you in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. Petroff companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
Back with you here, 1 quarter down, 3 to go on this final game of day number 1 here at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. Wanted to talk about Quincy's history here at this tournament a little bit. They've been here for 34 years, so not quite every single tournament, but they have a record of 81-38, the second most total wins in the Holiday Classic. Obviously, the host Collinsville are the only team that has more. Haven't won a title, though, since 1997. So what makes you think that this is the year that Quincy can go all the way and win this title?
Well, I mean, obviously last year they maybe didn't have their best night against Collinsville in that, or against
MacArthur, I think.
Yeah, MacArthur in that. Took MacArthur to overtime there in that semi, and then didn't quite have their best night against Collinsville in that third place game. And I mean, this is maybe one of the deepest Quincy teams that they've had in a while. They got a lot of talent. Even with no Jeremiah Talton, still, like I said, a lot of talent, and Quincy, a tradition-rich town when it comes to basketball. Got a lot of tradition. One of the greatest teams in Illinois high school history with their 1982 state championship team, and the goal is much the same again this year.
Bradley Longcore just missed that three-pointer. It'll come out for Ralph Wires. Quincy Blue Devils having strong offensively, and the other thing about the Blue Devils is that they have all played in that season where they finished as sectional champions. So they have all this experience. They haven't brought anyone new. As Dominique Clay hits his bucket there on the elbow, and that's his first 2 points of the game.
Yep.
And Quincy forcing another turnover. Bradley Longcore, you can let him go, and that's a bucket for Longcore. He's cooking, and Alton are trying to figure out a way to find a way to answer him. 25-9, another timeout for Alton. It'll be a 30-second timeout, and we'll be back after it on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of K-Hawk Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go K-Hawks.
Just about a minute and a half, almost, played of this second quarter. Quincy is on a 9-0 run here. They've had runs of 7-0 and 9-0 in this game so far, and they lead Alton 25-9. And once again, their press defense has been really strong. Reed O'Brien a little too aggressive there, trying to get it from Elliott, and he'll pick up the foul. That's Quincy's fourth.
Yeah, they're going to get O'Brien there. Just wasn't quite able to beat Elliott to the ball, and see Brown come back in. Longcore will have a little bit of rest.
Yeah, just a little bit of an update on Blake Hall, number 0 for Alton, one of their top scorers and a good three-point shooter for them. He was going to be instrumental in helping them win this year. He probably won't be coming back. His knee is wrapped up in ice, or his ankle, my apologies, is wrapped up in ice, and so he probably will not be returning. So it's Macias driving down the baseline, and Elliott now driving right outside back to Macias. That's a three-pointer from him. No good, and Camden Brown gets the layup or the rebound, and number 22, again, we don't have a name for him. We'll have it at halftime for you. And it's Camarion, I believe, Ian Camarion from Alton. And, you have a couple of those players that they don't roster because they just moved them up from JV. But obviously,
Yeah, it seemed, from what it looks like Alton are maybe missing a couple of their of guys, and so
Byron Stampley, one of them. Here's Camden Brown, corner three, no good. Rebound between O'Brien and Mulheron, and Brown will come back in from the baseline and score. Good pass from Reed O'Brien, and Camden Brown, who is going to be a huge piece of this Quincy team. He missed the majority of last season due to a football injury. He had 21 points in their final game before the Holiday Classic, so he will be part of this team. And there's a steal. Dominique Clay's got the height advantage. He'll try to go up and score, but Macias gets the foul just before he puts up the shot. And it will be 1-1 now with Dominique Clay going to the line.
See Junior Brown and number 30.
Good for a number 30 here.
Oh, we do have Cambarian on the roster. We have him as 33. And then Chris Atkins, who I do not have on the roster. So Cambarian listed at 33 is wearing 22 today.
First free throw is good for Clay.
So you said who is number 30? Just want to remind myself of that.
Atkins.
At number 30. But it's Dominique Clay, number 14 for the Devils at the line, the 6'3 sophomore. Didn't do a ton at last year's Holiday Classic. He did play. Went 2 of 12 from the field. He went 1 of 6 from three. And Quincy will hope for a couple of better stats here as he misses the second free throw, and Alton will get the ball back here in the hands of Junior Brown. And that Quincy trap has been gone. It comes in spurts, and it's tough to really tell whenever they've gone. Yeah. Every Alton player has touched the floor here, I believe, thus far. But unfortunately, they're missing their two best players, Byron Stampley, their leading scorer, and Blake Hall, their second leading scorer. So Alton's a bit on the struggle bus here right now in this second half as Quincy look to extend the lead to 20.
Yeah, Stampley, there's somebody down there on Alton's bench in street clothes. Not sure if that's Stampley or not, and of course we mentioned Hall out with the injury earlier in this game.
Atkins outside, and that's another steal for Quincy. They've got quite a few turnovers forced here. Dominique Clay will go back into the bucket, and he misses it. Rebound comes to Asani Elliott, and he'll have an opportunity to go at Brown. Asani Elliott with the right-handed layup and scores there. Got around Camden Brown's charge take, and Alton are in the double digits here with 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Quincy still with the comfortable lead. Wires will wait and decide to drive right. Looks for the shot. Outside, Brown, one more pass to Dominique Clay on the left corner, and that is good from Dominique Clay. And the Quincy lead by 20 for the first time tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of pouring it on now, and, it was one of those things that you kind of figured was expecting, and especially with Stampley and Hall out, Alton, unfortunately, there's just not a ton of talent there. And so, just survive in advance and see what they're able to get out of this tournament.
Absolutely. Be good experience for these players who haven't played a lot for Alton in this tournament. Junior Brown will drive left, on the outside, and he had to put Longcore on the floor there on the shot fake. I believe that was number 13, Cameron Burnett. And I also believe there's a foul, and I think it's off the basketball. And that'll be against Bradley Longcore, so it will be. I believe he tripped Cameron Burnett in there during that play. So Alton will trigger it from the baseline here. Trying to find an answer, didn't have anyone, and that's a 5-second violation. And if you had that on bingo card of what Alton has done tonight that has not gone exactly well, I guess that's another space off of it.
Yep. Have they had a shot clock violation yet?
No, and maybe we'll wait on that one and see what happens there.
Yeah.
Quincy with not a great turnover there. I think it'll be interesting to see how Quincy respond. I think they would like to play a full 32 minutes. It's a situation where Quincy came into this tournament. A lot of players were saying, we haven't played a full game. We're not playing hard enough. And, you know, kind of problems that Belleville East has had as well. And Quincy knows they have great potential, but they've got to be able to play complete games and play like the experienced team that they are in order to have a shot at the winning this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, kind of some of the higher end teams that haven't, have had some games where they haven't really been super challenged. Quincy have really only been challenged once. Lincoln have really only been challenged once before today, and just gotta get used to playing in higher pressure situations. Another bucket for Thomas. That's
tapped
10
in
now.
And there's the steal there. Brown fell to the floor as he tried to get the basketball. Elliott will go up with the layup, no good, and Quincy have numbers again. Here's Reed O'Brien. Longcore will look for the Euro step and puts it in for 2. Bradley Longcore probably could beat Alton right now 1-on-5.
Well, he's got more points than Alton has as a team, so you may not be too far off the mark.
Alton will drive to the baseline. There's the layup there. It's good. And Tyreus Jones, who just checked back into the game, has his bucket for tonight. 35-13. Wires being closely guarded. Nice steal from Camden Brown, but it's going to be an offensive foul as Wires ran into Atkins as he looked to pass it away. So Alton will get the ball back here.
Let's see. Jones talking to the Alton assistant acting as head coach today, with Coach Dudley absent for
a reason we do not know.
Reasons unknown to us.
Here's Atkins. He's been a good driver. He's going to go back into the lane. Can't finish the layup, though. He's done that a couple of times today. That was actually Hassani Elliott who took that ball inside. Wires inside to Thomas. They double him for the first time, but he'll go up for the layup. It's a jump ball. No and one, and Keyshawn Thomas cannot believe it.
Yeah, nice job there by Atkins, and they double down with Hassani Elliott, I think, and did a good job, but Blue Devils will keep it on the arrow.
Collierville, the team that just won a minute ago, they beat Triad, have stayed to watch these two teams play as Wires goes for a corner 3. That's no good. Atkins finds the rebound, and here comes Alton the other way. That is Taylor going up into Camden Brown, and there's a foul. That was Tyreus Jones who went in for the layup, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. I believe that's his second trip to the line tonight.
Yeah, Jones has had some decent things there. Got four of Alton's 13 points and opportunity to add to that total. He's had a decent game so far, as we'll see Macias re-enter for the Redbirds. Rolled out.
Jones couldn't make that first free throw. It's his second year on varsity. Only had 1 bucket as a sophomore on Alton 3 years ago, but he had 10 points against Carnahan in Alton's singular victory this season, and he'll hope to get half of that here by making this free throw, and he does. So Quincy still leading by 20, still in absolutely full control here in this 9 o'clock game. It's been the first time that I've seen Quincy play in the 9 o'clock game. Normally they play early on in the morning. Here's Reed O'Brien driving inside, and Keyshawn Thomas with the hook shot. No good, but he'll try to fight for his own rebound. He gets it. That's a muscle play from Keyshawn Thomas, and he gets the foul called, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. He worked for that one and then some to look for it.
Yeah, really got after it. They're going to get Elliott with the foul. That's his third. You can see Thomas shoot from some free throws. From what I remember from last year, he was decent at this as a freshman.
Keyshawn Thomas does not make the first one, so he will get another try. 12 minutes in the opener last year. Quincy played against Alton-12. He was 5 of 10 in the free throw department versus Decatur MacArthur. Unfortunately, he missed all 5 of his field goals against the Generals, which he will rue as that being a missed chance, as Quincy lost that game in overtime. Only committed 2 turnovers in the tournament, too, so he's not one to lose the ball inside. He's a very secure forward who is able to go inside and get baskets around the rim.
Yeah, it's one thing where he's not gonna inflict a lot of offensive fouls. He's, once he gets it, he's a pretty strong ball handler, and missed shot there, and the Redbirds will get the rebound.
That is Kobe Taylor now on the basketball. And Quincy will go into their 1-2-2 matchup zone that is very hard to score against. That 3 is an air ball, and Bradley Longcore will get the rebound. Quincy is going to run up again. Brown into the middle, look for the lob. Ooh, and one Alton player just hit the deck, and I imagine that there's going to be a stoppage here for Junior Brown. He was going up for the lob, or Brown was trying to throw a lob to, I believe, Dominique Clay, and Dominique Clay just blindside blocked Junior Brown, who hit the floor, and I think, well, we'll see if he stays in the game here. He's right under us here in the basket, and looks like he will stay, and that was a hard hit there.
Yeah, just one of those things where not really anything malicious in it, but, there's contact in the game of basketball. And it seems like he's all right, maybe a little tender in that one spot where he first hit the floor.
So Macias over to Brown, inside, Kobe Taylor with the Euro step with the layup, no good. And it looks like it will go to Quincy here with 1.5 minutes and then just a little bit more left in the second quarter here in game number 8, the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, last one of the day. So Camden Brown looks to drive right on Atkins, drives left, gets around him, and will pull up a little floater inside. And Camden Brown made that look pretty easy, slides his shoes because he slipped a couple of times there on the way there. Macias trying to break this Quincy press, and they do. Little floater shot from Alton, that's no good. Mulheron fights for the rebound, and here come the Quincy Blue Devils again. They've been on the fast break all night so far. Clay goes left, looked for the shot, no good, as it was as it got out of his hands. Atkins going the other way for Alton, gets around Sprick, and that is going to be a traveling violation. Looks like Sprick may have touched the ball, but the referees will give the turnover and give the ball back to Quincy here. And we'll see if Quincy, like you said, maybe goes 2 for 1 here. Looks like it's not going to matter in terms of the game. This could be the largest win of any team. Collinsville won by 30 earlier today, but Quincy's already up 23 with just a minute left to go in the half. Mulheron outside, Longcore, no good. Brick with the rebound inside, couldn't get the underhand layup. And here comes Alton the other way. Kobe Taylor found the pass on the other side, and that's good for 2, Junior Brown. Nice vision there from Kobe Taylor, and they actually gave the bucket to Tyreus Jones. My apologies.
You get it down there, and you get an open layup, you're going to take it, and Quincy will have a decent amount of time to run some offense, look for that final shot of this first half.
Shot clock turned off here, 15 seconds to go, and Quincy will hold for the final shot. Longcore to Dominique Clay, and here comes the set from Quincy. Outside, Mulheron. Another pass onto the left for Sprick. Sprick outside, and there's Longcore going inside. Went for the layup, and that is an offensive foul. Tyreus Jones knew what Longcore was doing there and came in and took a big charge there. That's a momentum play that Alton could use to try to get something in the second half with just 2 seconds to play.
Yeah, that'll be Longcore's second foul, and Alton with the full length of the floor to go in 2 seconds.
Atkins heaves one, that's off to the right, and that completes the first half of play here. Quincy Blue Devils took care of business. It was 7-7 at one point. Quincy has now outscored Alton since then by a score of 30-9. And so the Blue Devils are smooth sailing here in the first half. We'll have halftime stats and all that for you in just a moment here on the KHOC Sports Network, and Zach Roseman will have the call for you for the second half.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number 1 on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent customer service. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville, right across the street from K-Hawk Stadium, online at allprotees.com or on Facebook at All Pro Tees, or call All Pro Tees at 344-2200.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884. The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KHawkSports.com and the KHawk Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Brady Pest and Termite Management is your local pest control source. The Midwest offers its fair share of pest problems, and Brady Pest and Termite Management is up to the challenge. Whether it's pesky rodents in the cold winter months or ants, spiders, and other pests in the warm months, Brady Pest and Termite is your solution. And termites? Brady Pest is tops in the Metro East in termite management. Do you have unwanted pests? Then call the best. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Call 343-1790 or on Facebook at Brady Pest and Termite.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our K-Hawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a K-Hawk, always a K-Hawk. Hashtag K-Hawk Family.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking, conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage Team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100.
And we welcome you back to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. We're at halftime of our final game here in day number 1. And the Quincy Blue Devils all over the Alton Redbirds early, score 37-16. Have our halftime stats for you. Leading scorer in this one is Bradley Longcore. He has 12. Keyshawn Thomas with 10. Dominique Clay and Camden Brown with 6 each for the Blue Devils. And Ralph Wires has 3. For the Alton Redbirds, Tyrus Jones has 7. Kobe Taylor has 4. Blake Hall has 3. And Hassani Elliott has 2. And that will complete it. Probably the most shocking stat to me to start out with is that Quincy have 11 offensive rebounds. Alton have 8 total rebounds. It's dominating the boards are the Blue Devils. Keyshawn Thomas and Rito O'Brien both with 4 offensive rebounds, and it's, as I said, the Blue Devils really pouring it on here in the first half. It was 21-9 after the first quarter of play, and the Blue Devils outscored the Redbirds 16-7 to bring us to the 37-16 total that we have now. Quincy took 19 more shots than the Redbirds did, as Redbirds have 12 turnovers to just 6 for the Blue Devils. All in all, just pretty thorough domination in all regards by the Blue Devils. And there's not a whole lot more to say. Total of 17 fouls, 8 for Alton, 9 for Quincy. And pretty much all that we know at this point. Got a couple minutes left here before the start of second half action. We're going to go ahead and take a break, pay a few more bills, and we'll be back for second half action here on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
The Times-Tribune, Madison County's longest-running leading independent newspaper. The Times-Tribune covers Troy, Collinsville, Maryville, and all the villages and communities of Madison County. From area city halls to sports, including the Collinsville K-Hawks and Unit 10 District News. The Times-Tribune covers that and more. The Times-Tribune is a weekly hometown newspaper published every Thursday, and a one-year subscription is only $40 for the printed and online editions. For more information, call the Times-Tribune at 618-667-3111, online at timestribunenews.com, or follow them on Facebook at Times-Tribune. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Looking to buy a new home or sell your current home? Trust the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now, and you can trust the years of experience the Blaylock Group brings to the table. The Blaylock Group can help you find your dream home, or they can help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty, 618-780-4622. That's 618-780-4622. The Blaylock Group of eXp Realty.
And we welcome you back into Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Just about ready to get started with second half action, and I understand that my partner Matthew Clark has some information for us.
Yeah. If I turn myself on, I will have some information. So thank you to our assistant athletic director and assistant head coach of the boys basketball team, Eric Anderson, gave us a little bit of info on why head coach Dylan Dudley and the Byron Stampley, the two big, the best scorer for Alton and the head coach for Alton, they are both not in attendance because both of them received one-game suspensions. They had technicals in the last game for Alton. I'm not exactly sure what the last game was, but they were both teed up twice, both were ejected, and now we're both serving a suspension. And so, especially with the fact that Blake Hull is now also out, Alton are playing severely shorthanded here. I mean severely, and that does not help you in any certain case, especially when you're playing to try to stay in the winner's bracket.
Yep, and that's just all in all been a pretty rough go of it as Blue Devils begin their process running offense here. There is Wires. He'll give it to Longcore, and a flash there down in the low block. Alton are able to recover, and there is Chris Atkins. Yeah, Chris Atkins, he'll give it to Taylor. Over to Atkins for three. Misses everything. Thomas with a nice strong box out there, and he'll get it up to Longcore. Longcore will dribble it up to the top of the key. Pull it from 19 feet. No good. Thomas crashes the board hard, but the Redbirds are able to get it, and we're going to have a carry. And that'll be turnover number 13 for the Redbirds.
We talked about the Alton Bad Things bingo card earlier tonight. You can add an air ball 3 onto that, and you can also add the carry turnover on that. But I don't mean that to be a jerk to Alton. It's the same that they have to play so shorthanded. I would feel bad if I had a team that was missing some of their most important assets, the head coach and the two best players. Wires takes that jumper and makes it. Yeah. And also, the other thing that's interesting is this gym has emptied out. It almost feels like a summer league or a freshman game right now. Yeah. A lot of people are going home and wanting to go to bed.
Yep, it's pretty late. We approach the 10 o'clock hour. Pretty much a handful of Quincy diehards, and we're going to travel there on Brown. He's not all that happy with that call. Honestly, thought there may have been a block charge foul one way or the other, but
yeah, I'd be sure that Camden Brown would be a little bit frustrated with his performance today. He was offered by Division II Quincy University. I don't think he's played like that thus far this game, but he only has 6 points and has missed a couple of layups at the rim, has turned the ball over a couple of times. So just a bit of a feeling out process for him. He didn't play in last year's tournament, obviously, so hopefully he comes back and has an important day too, because that's when Quincy will need him.
Yep, three-pointer there by Tyrus Jones, no good. Longcore will clear it out. A little bit of a bump there, no call either way. Get over to Brown, and Brown will get fouled by, they're going to get Kobe Taylor with that. That'll be his first. And we're going to call it on the floor, and the Blue Devils will inbound. Here is Brown to Longcore, and off the hands of Thomas, just a little high for the 6'6 sophomore, and it will be Alton basketball.
Yeah, if I were Quincy right now, the only thing that I would say, listen, you're up 23, and you probably are expected to be up 23, but I want to make sure that I'm taking care of the basketball a little bit better. There's been a couple of errant turnovers that have just been straight-up passes that Quincy just hasn't been able to catch. They can't have those on day 2. They won't make it to the tournament final. And with a team with experience, you would hope that they would show up and pass the ball well in those areas, especially a team that knows each other.
Yeah, they're going to get Longcore with a foul there. That's his third. He picked up that second one on that charge late in the second quarter, and obviously, it's not one of those you mentioned earlier trying to get a three-pointer there by Tyrus Jones. He's up into double digits now, got 10 points for the Redbirds, and just trying to, Quincy, in order to find themselves to be able to win, they've gotten by predominantly on just raw talent, and they've probably had games where they've played significantly better than this. But to win, to go make a deep run into the playoffs to beat an O'Fallon or a Belleville East, and, obviously looking at the playoff bracket, it seems like all roads are going to lead through Moline as bucket there by Brown. I mean, you just gotta be able to sweat the small details at this point, and this is a good opportunity for that to happen, where you've got a clearly inferior opponent, and an opportunity to work on the small things and make, be able to utilize that in the long run, as we'll see Burnett re-enter for the Redbirds as
I think the
Taylor
other
will
thing.
sit down.
I think the other thing is that Alton need to make, or Quincy also need to make sure that they keep everybody healthy. And in the game, you don't want anyone to be ejected or have to leave the game for any reasons. You want all your players ready for tomorrow. That's probably the most important thing for Quincy. But the little things, fixing the little things. Oh, that's really good hustle from Keyshawn Thomas there. Lost a shoe trying to go get the basketball. He wasn't even close, but I love the hustle there. Those are plays that get your teammates excited and fired up, even in a 22-point game right now.
Yeah, just going to go hustle diving into the scorer's table and get a nice pat on the back there from Wires as but the Redbirds will see what happens there as Macias will get it. He'll give it over to, that is Jones, and shot clock violation, but has been essentially blocked. Blue Devils will get it without a stoppage. Here is Longcore. Swing it cross court over to Brown for three, just a little bit short. Scramble for the rebound. Wires is going to come out of there with it, and the Blue Devils will reset. Here is Longcore. Guarded pretty closely there by Taylor. And they'll get it over to Thomas on the wing. Cross screen, kind of maybe a little bit of a lob effort there for Brown, but pass a bit errant, and yeah, it's just not quite 100% from the Blue Devils, but you're in a
using
situation
this as a
where
practice for their other 3 games. Obviously, they didn't want the 9 o'clock game, but they'll take it against what has been, an inferior opponent today. As Wires picks up the foul. The other thing, that's that Keyshawn Thomas pass that just cannot happen. You cannot have weak turnovers like that. And Keyshawn Thomas, I said it earlier in the first half, he's not one to turn over the ball that much. So they need to make sure that he holds on to the basketball and catches passes and makes good passes himself.
Yeah, just take the opportunity to work on things, and I'm sure I don't know if Coach Douglas will have the opportunity to practice before their game tomorrow afternoon against Collierville. A bucket there by Jones. Jones with 12 of Alton's 21 points and another Blue Devils turnover. Here is Macias, maybe a little too far under the basket, but good effort there by Jones, but Longcore able to clear it, and he'll bring the ball up against a little bit of pressure there from Macias. Behind the back dribble, and 25 and counting, the Blue Devils will get into their set. Sprick to Wires. They'll look down to Longcore. Just kind of a nice post move there, just a little bit off. And the Redbirds will clear. Here is Elliott. He'll drive into the middle of the lane, kind of cut around Sprick, and again, just a little too far into the basket. And another missed shot for the Redbirds. Here is Longcore. He'll pass it over to Brown in the corner. Airballed that one. There have been a couple of those. 9 o'clock game maybe just a little weird for both teams, as we're going to have a blocking foul called on Tyler Sprick. That'll be his 3rd. And we will see Tyreus Jones shoot some more free throws.
I tell you what, it takes a lot from Tyreus Jones, a player who hasn't played a ton for Alton this season, hasn't been a massive player, hasn't scored a lot, to come in here and effectively lead a battered Alton squad that is very thin. And the fact that he's done that has kept them in this game. If Tyreus Jones was not in this game, this might be one of the, and I don't mean this in a harsh way, just one of the biggest blowouts in tournament history. He has took these players on. He's not afraid of them. Even if Quincy have a lot more talent on their floor, Tyreus Jones is stepping up and saying, okay, I'm going to play on the same level as them and help lead my team. And I think that's been good from Jones, and I have a lot of respect for him for that reason only.
Yeah, Alton all in all, they're definitely not back down. Like you mentioned, a pretty clear talent disadvantage. Make that one, that'll give them 13 of 22 now for the Redbirds, but
and that's a season high.
Yeah, they're gonna keep going, and they're gonna get after it, and hopefully if you'll have Coach Dudley and Byron Stampley back, and that'll help, and you'd see maybe not against the Triad, but you would think they'd be able to find a game where they would be competitive, as they will get a...
That's going to be a blocking foul on Sam O'Haron, but Tyreus Jones doing it on defense as well. It's a shame he's a senior, because if he had a couple more years left in him, I'm sure Alton would have loved it. And again, really playing well for the Redbirds. And I also think, another player that has had opportunities tonight for Alton, Asani Elliott, number 1, who's on the free throw line on the far side in red. if he had made a couple more shots, maybe Alton could have been in the – he had a couple of easy layups in the first half and the second half. If he had made those, Alton may have been able to keep this pretty close. I understand Quincy's not playing at 100% because they want to obviously – and you do this sometimes when you're a better team and hoping to win the championship, conserving their energy for days 2 and 3. As we have lane violation, unfortunately, for Alton on the bingo card for today.
Yep, another lane violation. Atkins was able to make the first one, cut the lead to 41-23, and we're just going to keep going here with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Here is Brown. He'll pass it over to Clay, and Clay, better looking one, but just kind of scooped out, nothing there. And they'll swing it into Elliott for corner, back out to Junior Brown. He'll take it no good. Mulheron with the rebound. He'll get it to O'Brien. O'Brien with a nice pass to Clay, maybe a little far, but he'll able to get it out to Wires, and they'll work it down into Mulheron. Mulheron with a shot, kind of missed everything there. And Brown, they're going to roll out the red carpet for him, but late contest there. Jones able to get the rebound. He'll drive baseline, and I think they're going to get Mulheron with another foul.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best third quarter for Quincy. They're playing, but the majority of their players, except for Camden Brown, are bench players, so it hasn't been awesome for them. But still, this is a good experience for them to try to have to come in here and figure it out against an Alton team that's playing hard.
Yeah, get it into the corner for Jones for three. And, Tyrese Jones really has had a pretty good night. He's got 16 points. He's got it down to 15. It's not been – Alton, they're sticking around.
Yeah, and we saw the comeback with Alton earlier today where Rockford East led by 21. No lead is safe in the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, as we said on game number 5.
Yep. There's number 5. That is Cameron Wires in, and they'll get it over to O'Brien for 3.
And he really wanted that one, Reed O'Brien. He was calling for the ball. He was almost upset until he got that ball and knocked down the 3. Almost went out of bounds, too.
And they're going to get it into Jones in the corner.
Oh, nice pass.
And get it out to Brown and then get it into Elliott. Elliott probably traveled.
Ooh,
they're going to get Mulheron with his 3rd foul. And Hassani Elliott will shoot some free throws.
Important free throws here, and if they can get I like to call it a score and a stop, so they can score the points here, get a big stop on the other end, they will start the fourth quarter with the basketball. Maybe Alton can make some noise here at the end, and all those people will regret leaving. But long ways away here, and it's not going to help when you're missing free throws.
Yep, we'll see Ian Camberry re-enter. And Elliott did not go to the free-throw line in the first half. Missed the first one there, and he'll shoot another one as Tyrese Jones will have a little bit of a break. Elliott able to make that one. That'll give Elliott 3 points, which I'm not sure if that's second behind Jones or not, but Clay will bring it up, and they're going to get Taylor with the
might have been
foul.
Junior Cameron Burnett, I think, possibly on the nudge, although I couldn't quite tell.
13.
13.
Yeah, the number font is a little strange to pick up, but we'll figure it out. Inbound into Cameron Wires with 23 clicks left here in that third quarter. Behind the back dribble, give it up to Brown. He'll face up, guarded by Elliott, get it up to Wires. Quincy really far out, 10 seconds to go. Get the ball screen from Mulheron. Drive to the baseline, not much there. Great head fake, got it blocked by Elliott. 2 seconds. They're going to try and get a layup, and he's fouled at the buzzer.
And the basket is going to count. I'm not exactly sure if that was correct. I would personally say that he didn't get the shot off in time, but finally, Hassani Elliott gets to the basket and finishes at the rim. Alton have been begging for him to make some layups here, and he got that one, makes this free throw. It'll be the lowest deficit that Alton has faced in quite some time, I'd say since the second quarter.
Yeah, probably since relatively early on. And misses it, but still down to 15. Not all in all, not an awful showing from Alton. We'll take a quick break here, and we'll be back for fourth quarter action here on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
The people of Illinois welcome you. The folks in Collinsville, Illinois, well, they want you to stick around for a while and enjoy the sights, the fun, the food, and, of course, the Collinsville K-Hawks. The city of Collinsville is a proud supporter of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District. So welcome to Collinsville. Come on over, catch a K-Hawks game, or enjoy some of the new places to eat, shop, and have fun. There's plenty to do for the young and the young at heart. Enjoy Christmas at the Collins House during the holidays, tunes that bloom in the warm summer months, and more. There's plenty to do in Collinsville, so come on over for a bit. The folks in Collinsville would love to see you. For more information, go to www.collinsville.org.
And we welcome you back to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, our 32nd and final quarter of the day, set to start here in just a minute. Quincy Blue Devils with a 15-point lead over the Alton Redbirds, 44-29. And, well, Matt, if you're either team, what do you want to do here?
Well, if I'm Quincy, I've been in this mentality. You're kind of playing down your competition, not playing your starters, trying to get some minutes, and the third quarter didn't exactly go the way they wanted it to. And, you just have to try to continue to play and make sure that you keep Alton at an arm's length. But for Alton, if I'm Alton, then I love the energy and I love the never give up attitude. I mean, Alton was 4-23 last season. They're 1-8 this season, and they're going up against a Quincy team who won a sectional last year and returned all but one of their players. So they're going up against pretty stacked competition here, and they have not been phased. Obviously, the first half didn't go quite the way they wanted to, but they had a strong third quarter. So I tell them, be like Alton-12 was in an earlier game. They were down late in the game, but they stayed in it. They stayed fighting. They never gave up. They never faltered. They never quit. And that ended up almost giving them the win. I mean, me and Todd were sitting here shocked. 21-point lead for the E-Raps, and they almost gave it away. And so Alton's going to need something miraculous like that if they want to get to the if they want to try to make some noise here at the end of this quarter. And it's going to be 1-1. Hassani Elliott, who has, again, not been fantastic from the three-point line. Not from free throw line. It's going to be Tyreus Jones. My apologies.
Yep, and they're going to got O'Brien there on the blocking foul. Foul's a 8-2 in favor of the Blue Devils, but that's not something you want to have the higher number in. Jones, first shot up and good. I'll give Jones 17 points. Like I said, he's really had a pretty good run. Almost, I remember last year we had, Arthur Adams of Wasilla wound up making the all-tournament team. If Jones can sort of continue those performances, we may see something similar here this year. But the second free throw missed. Brown with the rebound, and he'll get it over to Cameron Wires. Brown will get it to O'Brien, and they'll get it to Brown. He'll clear out that side, get a screen from Mulherron, get it back out to Clay, over to O'Brien, over to Wires, get it down inside to Clay, and lost the ball but was fouled. I think that'll be on Hassani Elliott, and that will be his fourth.
Yeah. Don't want to lose another player here. Then it would just be Tyreus Jones and maybe Alton's sophomore team out there for the end of the game. Elliott has brought just at least a little bit of size for this Alton team, and that has been helpful over the third quarter. I mean, they only gave up 7 points to Quincy in the third quarter. That is impressive for any team in any game. I don't care if it's the summer or the consolation championship with the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. It's impressive, especially with a team that's pretty offensively powerful.
Yeah, I mean, they really have done a pretty good job, and obviously Quincy aren't going full out, but still only giving up 7 points in a quarter is pretty good. O'Brien with a 8-foot runner, bucket up and good. That'll be
5 points.
5 now for O'Brien. All in all, a pretty solid day for the player with maybe the most Metro East connection. Of course, grew up in Quincy, but moved down to Troy and went to Triad High School for the first 2 years, as Mulherron will get the bucket, but moved back up to Quincy before the start of last season, and was a contributor for the sectional team for the Blue Devils, as Jones will get another bucket, and that'll give him 19, and the Blue Devils will get back into things. Here is Brown. He'll drive baseline, guarded, and not doing a pretty good job. Got great low post position. Shot up and good.
Yeah, Cameron Brown, 6'5". I don't think Alton have a person taller than 6'3" on the floor go at them, start getting points in the bucket. I think Quincy have settled for a couple fancy shots here, and they're finally starting to get into the paint and score. And I think now they've done enough, I believe, to take care of business here. And Quincy's going to get the ball here as possession. Arrow is to them after the jump ball.
Yeah, see Junior Brown come back in as Mulherron and Cambarian got tied up. It'll be Redbird basketball on the Arrow. Macias will inbound to Elliott, and we'll see what the Redbirds are able to do. He'll swing it over to Taylor. Taylor from the corner for 3, just a little bit long off the rim. Clay will get the rebound and will bring the ball up. Redbirds looking to trap here, and they'll give it to O'Brien. We have a quick O'Brien will get another bucket. He's got 7, and we have a quick update on the girls basketball front. The Lady K-Hawks losing to the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars 41-28, so they will play for 3rd place at the MICDS Holiday Tournament against an to-be-determined opponent, and we'll have an offensive foul there on Tyreus Jones. That is only his 2nd, 4th team foul for the Redbirds, but it is yet another turnover for the Redbirds.
If the first time doesn't work, then try again. Sam O'Haron tried taking a charge on the other block in that possession, couldn't get it, and then took the charge there, and he'll be happy with that because he did have 3 fouls. He didn't want to have a 4th there. If I'm Sam O'Haron, I don't want to foul out in this game.
Yeah, there's Cameron Wires bringing it back up, look for the back cut. Mulherron right under the basket, gets his own rebound, bucket up and good. Mulherron with 4 now, and the lead back out to 22 for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, watch out for Mulherron. He could have some big points off the bench. I understand Keyshawn Thomas is going to have the majority of the minutes for the Blue Devils, but, in that Webster Groves game, late on, Sam Mulherron's experience helped the Blue Devils. He had a couple of big buckets. Webster were making a comeback, and Mulherron had those buckets. He could do something very similar to that in this tournament as Jeremiah Tolton's brother, if I'm not mistaken. Isaiah Tolton will come in first. Isaiah Tolton, I'm not exactly sure the exact naming on it.
Both were in 24. Isaiah's a bit shorter, but looks a decent amount like Jeremiah. I would have to assume there's some sort of familial connection. I don't know for sure.
We're not exactly sure, but we think he's his brother, and if he's not, then that's a shame.
The Lady Cowboys will play the Clayton Greyhounds tomorrow at 4:30 as Wires will get it under the basket, rotate it over to O'Brien. He'll drive the lane, back out to Wires. Wires over to Longcore. Longcore will dribble it into the middle and
that's travel,
get called for a travel. Lead 54-32, 3:57 remaining, and no running clock. Alton have stuck dogged with it as we approach as it is now 10:15. They'll bring it into Elliott, get out to Taylor. Taylor get a foul on O'Brien there on the floor. That'll be O'Brien's 3rd, 9th for the Blue Devils, and so Kobe Taylor will shoot some free throws.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Quincy knew that they were going to have the easy matchup, and will dispatch of Alton, barring an insane comeback from them. And the thing that I'm interested to see is, so Quincy played in the 9 o'clock game. They've had all day, but they're going to have the shortest turnaround tomorrow. They'll play at 2:30, and then if they win, they'll play at 7:30. I'm interested to see if Quincy will be ready to play because they haven't had to go 100% all the way totally crazy today. They have been able to play about 75%, and so I think that's helped them today. Obviously, they didn't need full effort. But will they wake up and be ready to play tomorrow? I'm not 100% sure. That Collierville team is a good team, and based on how Quincy's played tonight, I think that Collierville could give them a good test. As Bradley Longcore hits the 3, he's up to 19 tonight. Simple performance from him.
Yeah, not anything.
He's actually 15. My apologies, 15.
Yeah, nothing super complicated there, but let's see. Burnett drive the lane, or Kobe Taylor, excuse me, bring it back up, and that'll bring him to 8 points. So all in all, a solid night for Taylor as well to supplement Jones's strong performance. And Longcore will take another 3. That one no good. Mulherron able to sky for the rebound. He'll go right back up, get fouled. Basket will roll around, but will fall. Mulherron with 6 points now and the opportunity to add a 7th. They're going to get Taylor with the foul. His 2nd, 5th team foul for the Redbirds.
Mulherron and O'Brien for Quincy are good role players. They don't select crazy amount of shots, but they hit their shots. I think Reed O'Brien's 3 for 3 in this game, and Mulherron went 7 of 10 from the tournament last season, had 2.5 rebounds per game. Those are helpful numbers when you think about it, and when you have someone who is reliable and can score the basketball whenever they touch it. They don't shoot a lot, but they make those 5-10 points that you might need to win a game. It's helpful, and O'Brien and Mulherron do that very well for this Quincy team.
Yeah, they're gonna. There's just the role player that every team wants to have. Every good team's got one, and Quincy able to have two as Wires put some nice dribble moves on there.
Wires there.
O'Brien will get the three-pointer, and he's got it. Reed O'Brien with 10 points now.
Yep,
yeah,
3
which
for
I
Reed.
think is approaching his high. I want to say his high at Quincy is 12 from one of their games earlier this year, and I think he had 13 in one of the games he played at Triad as a sophomore. Long court with a three-pointer, but that will be the end for those guys as Quincy will very much empty their bench, as we'll see, and get it out to 29. See, let's see. Bryson Bowen, number 23, number 20 that I don't have in the program. Number 15, Nate Hetzler.
23, Bryson Bowen.
Got number 30 and number 21 out there as well.
Seth Rupert, and I don't have a 21 either.
So we'll find him out. There's a lot of players on both of these teams that are not on the official rosters here tonight, unfortunately.
24, that is, I think Chad Burgess said that was Christian Harden. We have Christian Harden as 32. But, yeah, pretty much, the end of the bench guys for both teams as we approach 30 points. Atkins able to track that one down, give it to Elliott. He'll drive downhill and be fouled by, I think they're going to get, that'll be on Seth Rupert, I think. And Elliott will shoot 2.
Yep. Well, I mean, obviously it ends up being sort of a 30-point game. I think Alton played better. They didn't deserve it to be a 30-point deficit, but Quincy shot the ball pretty well in this fourth quarter. I am interested to hear from you, Zach. We're coming into our final game, and obviously Todd Duke is going to have our post-game show for us. Who do you think has been the most impressive team at this tournament in day one, and why?
I mean, all in all, and they're going to get travel there by Bowen. I think all in all, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, I think some of the teams that we expected to look really good have been maybe a little comparatively lackluster. All in all, I think the best team today has probably been MacArthur. They, pretty much took care of business against really a pretty solid Madison team, and
four-quarter blitz. They just, I would agree with you there.
They're going to get after it, and I mean, defending champs, and they got a lot of guys. Bring a lot of bench contributors back from that are were bench guys last year. And they're going to get.
It's a little bit of a problem when our great announcer, Mr. Burgess, Chad Burgess, does not know what the name of Quincy's player is. Again, not rostered, but he gets the bucket. 2 points for number 20, as he said.
Yeah, rebound for Cambarian, 24, able and nearly airball the reverse layup as 30 will get it, and they'll get it up to 23. That is Bowen, and they'll give it to number 21, who we don't have in our program. There is Rupert and Rupert will get it back from Bowen. Rupert over to number 21. Nearly got fouled, nearly traveled. Get it out to Bowen, get it back to number 21. Do have to get a shot off here. And there you go, and shot by number 15, no good. Or 21, 15 able to tap it out. Alton will get the ball back. Here comes Elliott, guarded by Rupert. He'll spin around, put on a nice dribble move, get a pass over to Junior Brown, and he'll hit a three-pointer, and that's his first bucket of the night. And we'll have a turnover. It'll be back to Alton basketball with 67-41 here with 8 seconds left. Pretty sparse crowd, mostly wearing either K-Hawk purple or Quincy blue, as we'll have an inbound out to Cambarian, wide open for 3, off the rim, no good. Rebound by 24, scramble for the ball. Number 15 will sit on it, and that'll be our final. 67-41. Blue Devils will improve to 10-1. Redbirds will fall to 1-9. We're going to take a little bit of a break. Todd Duke, actually we're not going to take a break. Todd Duke here will wrap things up for you.
No breaks anymore. I think we are finished for the night. Did you have fun?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was a great day of tournament basketball. 8 good games. It didn't feel like any game was that boring or that just not fun at all, and this tournament is so great. And now you get to kind of prep for what is going to be the gauntlet, which is day number 2, where every team plays twice. And always the best day of the tournament, always some exciting games to go, and it always takes a very good, solid performance, 2 good, solid performances to get good wins, and for the people in the winner's bracket to get to the championship game. But yes, it's been fun.
All right. Zach Roseman says he has fun, too. All right, that is going to do it for us tonight. We want to have a big thank you to Dave Wilhelm joining us very early this morning at 9:45 for a little pregame conversation. We don't know if he's going to be here tomorrow or not to continue that, to see what his thoughts are on day number 2, but it should be a fun day, man. It starts off with a fun game between last year's participants in the championship game, O'Fallon and MacArthur. That is the first game of the day. So we are glad that you hung out with us, and we do appreciate it. And we're going to go home and get some rest, and we're going to come back and have game number 1 for you at 10 o'clock. We'll be on the air about 9:45 with pregame coverage. For Matt Clark and Zach Roseman, and a big thank you again to Dave Wilhelm. My name is Todd Duke. You all have yourselves a fantastic rest of your evening, and we'll see you here tomorrow.